Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Reviewing Comics with me, your host, Alexander Turbin. This week I'm going to be going over Bethany Vampfire, a Brainstorm comic from 1998. But before we get into that, I'd like to show you some of my own comics. This is Random Access, and it's a 12-page, full-size, full-color comic that I produce for mainly my Patreons, but you can also get them at my website. You can check these out at patreon.com/Alexander Turbin. Or you can check them out at my website, alexanderturbin.com. Like I said, it's 12 pages, full size, full color. And there's usually a backup by Chris Knox and Paul Courtjohn. And it's up to issue 18 now, almost up to 19. My website has other stuff, Mutandis, The Forlorn, and stuff like that. So I hope you check that out and give me a shout out. But this week, today, we're going to get into Bethany Vampfire. It's horror cheesecake, as far as I'm concerned. This is actually the second taping of this, where I went into a whole spiel about where horror cheesecake comes from and whether or not, because I'm not really into it, but I feel like it's part of the world of sports cards / comic books. As most of you know, that's a whole not genre. It's a whole other world, because you have the comic book people who love comics and read comics and sell comics and all that stuff, and then you have a portion of that subsection is card dealers, and they kind of infiltrate the comic book field, because it's kind of a moneymaker at times. I guess it's maybe just a collectibles field, and you have different people from various subsections. And I feel like the horror cheesecake is kind of a big deal for the collectible people. They kind of just like, I mean, it kind of goes along with the sports cars / cheesecake and stuff like that. Let me know if you guys have any kind of thoughts on that. I'm not really into it, and I've never really gotten a lot of any comics that kind of go into that section, kind of like the Lady Death and or Lady Chaos or anything that Chaos produced. I guess I kind of feel like is horror cheesecake, and I'm just really not into it. Even though you could construe my own comic, Cyrene, the Cleric, as cheesecake, I'm kind of trying to go into more of a Frank Frazetta kind of sphere, that rather than the just kind of cheesecakey vein. But let me know what you guys think about that anyway. So let's get into the comic. Like I said, this is Bethany Vampfire by Brainstorm Comics, and it's created by Holly Golightly, aka Fav. I don't know if she was an adult film star. I do know that she, along with other companies, did a line of adult film biographies, stuff like that. So she's gotten into a lot of this different cheesecakey stuff, and she's also written and drawn this issue and a few other issues. She's done quite a few things. So you have Bethany consoling one of her friends, or talking to one of her friends. There is no this is issue number 3. There's no blurb as to what happened in the first 2 issues. And normally I'm really kind of upset about that, because I'm not going to go get another Bethany comic. If I see one out in the wild for $1 or a quarter, I might get one. But other than that, I'm not going to seek these out. I did have a good time reading it, but it's not good enough to go back and really look for more stuff. So I normally don't like that, but because of the writing is so clean and clear, you can really tell what happened in the last couple issues, which is really good, because I really, really kind of like the writing on this. So she has her friend. Oh, this isn't a friend, actually. This is a bad guy. She came in upon one of her friends that was going to be sacrificed, and there were 2 people that wanted to become vampires. She has fake vampire fangs, I guess, and this is Bethany, a real vampire. So she, um, instead of helping her turn her into a vampire, she kills her, and then she's going to kill Vlad, this other vampire that was going to sacrifice her friend, who is, I guess, looks 12 years old or is 12 years old. Don't know if she's a vampire. Don't know if she's not vampire. Don't know if they're related. I don't really know anything, but I'm kind of, they allude to what's going on in the story, and that's kind of good enough, I guess. So she's gonna kill Vlad, but she says no, stop. He didn't mean to, and stuff like that. And she's like, okay, fine. He's just a human. That's basically what she says. So they escape from this what was going to be a sacrificial altar, and they go to the. I think they go to the roof where there's an angel. This is very, very much Buffy the Vampire Slayer homage and influenced. It's really influenced by Buffy. You can really tell. I mean, there's an angel and there's vampires and stuff like that, but that's perfectly okay. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So they fly off. Angel picks them up and they fly off into the woods where there's a portal to another realm. Apparently, Bethany comes from another universe, another dimension, and she is going to go to the other dimension because her dimension is controlled, ruled by, created by another goddess, or a goddess, and she's been missing or something. You don't really know what's going on. They kind of explain it a little bit. But anyway, she's going to the other dimension to figure out what's going on. So they have this goodbye. She wants to go with her. She's like, you're not going to be safe if you go with me, so I won't ever allow that. The angel will keep you safe. She has this relationship with the angel, so they have a tear-felt goodbye, and she steps into the portals to go to the other dimension to find out what happened to her goddess. And so it goes from comic books to illustrated text, I guess you would call it, illustrated fantasy text. I really didn't know this was coming, and I was almost going to not read it. I was so close to not reading it, but then there's like only 3 or 4 pages, so I'm like, why not? Why not read it? So I'm going to encapsulate the story. She goes to her dimension. She is met by these fairies and other women that are part of the world. So they kind of recognize her and they let her go off onto her own. So she goes to where her goddess lives, and she goes to some castle or something where there's other people that are devotees of this goddess Lucinda. They tell her that something weird has happened to her, and so they send her on her merry way to find what is happening to her goddess, because it's not just her, it's her whole dimension that it's kind of like turned into, from this beautiful, they call it like the garden. It's like the Garden of Eden, but it's turned into like this horrible bog type thing. So then she goes to find her goddess. She meets her. She sees her. The goddess has been turned into a vampire. I don't know how you turn a goddess into a vampire, but anyway, she did. She's gonna, and then she starts to fight Bethany. Bethany doesn't want to fight her, but the goddess is like, kill me, set me free. So she does. She kills her, and instead of actually killing her because she's a goddess, it actually destroys the vampire curse in her, so she turns back into a goddess. But all of the blood that she had on her, Bethany realizes is really her mother's blood. So her mother, who is a vampire, is the one that tried to turn, or did turn, her goddess into a vampire. So there you go. That's the encapsulation of the story. And then really that's all there is to it. I don't know how many pages in here, but it's pretty short. And then half of it is pinups of different stuff. I mean, pictures of photos of Bethany. And really that's why I'm saying this really goes into the card collecting part of comic book retailers or whatever, the ones that really are into it. Brainstorm looking for talent to make more comics, I guess. I guess they want to make more comics and have less pinups, which I really would prefer because I'm not really into this whole thing. So the whole pinup cheesecake kind of thing is it just like all of these pages could have been comic book pages, and there's really it's really wasted stuff. So let's go into the writing. The writing, it's written by Holly Golightly, aka Flav, and she's writes it and draws it, and it's really pretty good. I really had really low expectations for this. I didn't really want to go into it, at all. But I was like, oh, this is something different, something unique that I haven't really gone into before. And I really enjoyed the writing. The writing, like I said many times before, each character has their own voice. It's very simple. The plot's very simple. She goes in, she saves somebody from some death, and then they leave and she goes into a portal. So the plot is very simple. It's only what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 pages. But it's pretty good. It's a lot better than I was anticipating being, writing wise. As far as the art is very competent. It's not some of my favorites, but it's competent. Some of the narrative art is a little bit wonky. Like this page here, you don't know whether to go from here to here to here to here to here to here, or from top to bottom to left to right. So that's a little bit off, but I mean, it works because because I went from top panel to bottom panel, and then I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So that's when I went from left to right to top to bottom. So, I mean, other than that, it's she's only got 3 panels, but that's good because you've got some good faces, and the faces are really good. They show some really good expressions. There's not a lot of hatching or cross hatching or anything like that, except for some of the backgrounds. And this is a nice panel. Some of the pages and the panels don't have enough blacks for me. I kind of wish they had a little bit more, which is really odd because you see this nice black spot, you see the nice shadow on her hand, and then you kind of go and see other panels. It's just the black spotting for me. It's not good enough. It's just kind of iffy. But it's very competent, and like her women are very pretty. Women are very difficult for a lot of men to draw specifically, but she does very well. She does a lot of drawing. This looks a little bit imagey. I think she's influenced a little bit by Image, and also maybe some Savage Sword and some Red Sonja comics and stuff like that, which is perfectly cool. So like I said, it's adequately done. Maybe even a little bit more than adequately done. I think it's actually pretty good. I wouldn't go looking for this artist. It just doesn't have that thing that catches me. Maybe it's the genre, but I'm really just not wholly into it. But like I said, it's competently done, and I think if you're into this kind of thing, vampire, horror, cheesecake, then I would definitely give it a shot because the art is pretty good. I mean, she's got she's got almost a bird's eye view, and she breaks the borders, which is pretty cool because it adds to the flow of the comic instead of having it being very stagnant and stiff. None of her characters are really stiff, even though like you don't have a lot of action poses going on here. It's more of a beauty technique than it is a stiffness technique. Like I said, when you get into the illustrations here, they're very good. They're very good. They remind me of some old style penny gothic kind of stuff, and I mean they're really good. They're really intricately. Now she takes all of the etching and kind of designy stuff and more intricate artwork and takes it away from the comic and really adds it to her work here, which is it's pretty unusual. I kind of wish all of this stuff had been more like had been in the comic book, that style. But it's like I said, it's very confident and it's pretty good. I enjoyed it, and yeah, if I saw it for $1 or a quarter, I would buy it. So yeah, Bethany Vampfire. I'm going to give this a 7. I'm going to give it a 7. Not bad, but not great. Maybe it's the genre. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys have any Bethany Vampfire or any other kind of horror cheesecake and stuff like that, maybe I'll look at some more stuff. Maybe I'll look at some Lady Death and see if I actually enjoy any of it, or Vampirella and stuff like that. So if you enjoy this kind of content, please let me know and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think of Bethany Vampire, and I will see you guys next time. And thanks for watching.